what I tell you. I remember almost a year ago doing a video that says Blair Witch 3 Rant. I'm a fan of this movie. In November 2011, I did a video that was over an hour long talking about why I love this film so much. It's still up. I'll even put it down below in the info box, my review of this movie, where I have my Blair Witch t-shirt, which has the missing persons poster of Heather, Mike, and Josh on the t-shirt. It's a white t-shirt. I have the comic book. I have the a book that told about the legend of the Blair Witch. I even have a fucking diary that I got from in 2000 for the year 2000. So yeah, I talked about over an hour long. Maybe I'll do another review for this. Maybe not. I don't know, because I went pretty in depth in that review from 2011. And this movie was supposed to be called The Woods, but it was done in secrecy. And I even looked it up. They said they did it in secrecy. They did not let anyone know it was a Blair Witch because, and I quote, they did not want any backlash from internet commenters about the fact that there was a reboot. And they even called it a reboot. Yeah, it's a sequel because it's the brother of Heather Donahue's character, and he found footage on YouTube. Oh, that might be my sister. And even people are going, it's been over 15 years. Yeah, but still might be my sister. So him, a girl, and a black couple, and then later on 2 locals, they go up into the woods, and all they do is rehash this fucking movie. So it's a sequel, but all they do is they remake this fucking film, which I love. It's a classic in my opinion. They rehash the shit, only it's louder, it's dumber, and Bloody Disgusting called it a game changer. This film a game changer. Game changer my ass. It's a fucking diaper changer. Because it took a shit on itself, and it fucking stinks. Okay? This is the type of movie that if it was a person, I punch it in the fucking face. I put it on a dick in a ditch, like one of these fucking sticks, maneuvered so it's looking like this. Like Razor Ramon ready to do the fucking razor's edge. Turn the sumbitch fucking upside down, punch it in the balls, and then do a good fucking kick like it's a fucking field goal. Like a Ray Finkel. Because Finkel is Einhorn, and Einhorn is Finkel, and this is a man. Cue the fucking crying game music. It's the crying game. Yeah, because after I watch your piece of shit fucking movie, I'm ready to cry. And people are like, oh, you ready to really cry over a movie? No, you dumb motherfucker. It's called over-exaggeration. Which part did you not get? Put it on a dick in a ditch? Put it upside down, punch it as if it was a person? Or the fucking Ace Ventura reference? Get your head out of your ass. That's why I want to say this fucking movie. Get your head out of your ass. See, so many things. One, why the fuck would you do a sequel to a movie that most people hate nowadays? I love the film. Hell, I even did another review that's still up with my friend Efrey. We talked about the film. And again, 2011, I reviewed this over an hour. I had the fucking Blair Witch shot glass. I have... So you do a sequel to a movie that most people fucking hate. Most people hate this fucking movie, so why would you do a sequel to a film that most people hate? Other than, hey, there's a name people recognize. Can't get a good fucking special edition or see all the deleted footage or brand new interviews with the cast and crew, but no, we did this bullshit. And, of course, going backtrack, that whole bloody disgusting thing, the reason they call it a game changer is when you look into it, some of the people with bloody disgusting know the filmmakers personally. So I'm like, no fucking wonder why. Game changer. Bloody disgusting, after saying that shit, I'm jealous that you guys get paid. Bloody disgusting. I'm fucking jealous. You get paid for that horse shit. A Blair Witch 2016, which is another found footage movie that just rehashes this fucking movie to the point of it starts off with that noise with white title cards, just like the original. It starts with, it's a found footage movie, just like the original. People are going to say, well, because Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows, that wasn't found footage. I don't like Book of Shadows, but the reason it sucked was not because it wasn't found footage. And I would rather watch that piece of shit movie than this piece of shit movie. Because at least I try to do something different. Here, it's the same fucking thing. You throw in a couple little different... I'm sorry, that's not enough. Even the consensus of fucking Rotten Tomatoes is... Yeah, they throw a few little things, but it's just a rehash of the original. And far more memorable original. I fucking agree with that. But okay, the title cards. White over black. With that same noise. Then... How do I want to stress it? Group of people, it's found footage, they go into the woods. Before that, you show them getting equipment, be in a hotel room, goofing off. As they go into the woods, they even do the fucking thing where the person is going backwards, walking backwards at the vehicle. Before they get there, they pass by the Burkittsville sign, which they film it, just like the original. I mean, again, you even do the same walking backward shot and the vehicle is going out of sight as you go into the woods. You even repeat that fucking shot. You go into the woods, they go around and they... Actually, before that, you have a fireplace scene where they're roasting weenies. You have... The reason I'm hesitating, I'm trying to remember this fucking film and I just saw it. So let me backtrack, because I'm fucking up. This movie's made me discombobulated. Because I know there's going to be people going, oh, come on, man, it's not a rehash, it's a sequel, it does this and this. And what? People are going to say, what, you want it to be the same thing? It's trying to be the same thing. The differences that it makes are stupid, and for the most part, all they're doing is rehashing shit. There's no fucking effort in that, and there's no fucking talent in that. When I see a new Blair Witch in 2016, and it's once again found footage, once again the white titles on black screen with that sound effect, and it's people going into the woods, filming with a shitload of cameras, and they get supplies, goof around the hotel room, they talk around a fireplace, then shit starts going on where there's sticks in the fucking trees, there's rocks around them, they go in one direction and they're at the same fucking spot, and then they're lost in the woods until they get to a fucking house at the end of the film, in which the camera fucking drops onto the ground on its side. That's exactly what happened in the 2016 movie I just watched. And that's exactly what happened in 1999. And they're both found footage. How is that not a rehash? If someone wants to explain it to me, how is that not a rehash? All the shit I just said happens in both films. And then Adam Wingard, I don't give a shit what he says in interviews. He's not a fan of this movie. He's not. He's probably one of those fucking people back in 1999 who fucking saw this film and thought it fucking sucked. And if you think it sucked, fine. I don't. But I can guarantee you, because Adam Wingard, right off the bat, I think he's an overrated director. I did not see You're Next. I know my friend Mike OCP hated it. VHS, that anthology film, aka Very Horrible Shit. You know what segment he did on that? He did the wraparound with a bunch of assholes fucking with a woman and sexually assaulting her while they film it because they're a bunch of dumb shits, and they go to a fucking house and there's a fucking dead body there, and even though there's a fucking dead body, instead of going, let's take all these tapes because the person wants them and leave, no, I'm gonna sit next to the fucking dead body, I'm gonna put in a VHS tape, and I'm gonna watch them one by one, and then each person of that crew comes in, and even though their buddy has disappeared, hell, there's one point that the fucking dead body disappears and the crew is too fucking stupid to notice. They're still sitting there watching the VHS tapes. That fucking guy, Adam Wingard, directed that stupid segment with those stupid fucking characters, including that guy with the cum catcher mustache. Then, I liked VHS too. But there's one segment that sucked. And you know who directed it? Adam fucking Wingard. Because VHS 2, I think it's a good sequel. You have the zombie one. Guy on the bicycle, and guess who directed? The guys who did this. Eduardo Sanchez. One of the directors of this did that. That was good. The one with the alien and Slumber Party, I had fun with it. I think it's the guy who directed Hobo with the Shotgun who did that segment. The guy who did The Raid. He did the one with the cult. That was crazy. That was pretty cool. But there was one segment where a guy gets a camera in his eyeball. It was pretty lame. It was the one lame segment. And Adam Wingard did it. So he did one of the shittiest segments, the wraparound on VHS, Very Horrible Shit. Then he did the worst segment in VHS 2, which altogether was good, but he did the one that was shitty. And then he did The Guest. Dan Stevens is good in The Guest. He's great. The movie itself, I think, is overrated as hell. Dan Stevens is great. But I think the movie around him is not much to run home about. I think if you took Dan Stevens out of that, more people would say, yeah, it's not that good of a movie. That movie's good because of Dan Stevens. But the rest of the movie is overrated. Dan Stevens is great. But the rest of the guest wasn't much. I saw this shit done better in Drive, that kind of style. With Nicholas Winding Refn. Granted, that director hasn't made anything good after it, but I prefer Drive over The Guest. The Guest is great with Dan Stevens. But the direction, Adam Wingard, he's an overrated fucking director, and he did this piece of shit. And as I was getting back before, he's like, in 1999, this movie sucks. We don't see a witch, and it's just a bunch of little noises, and it's too subtle. It's too quiet. And I need some shit going on. I need, tents flying to the sky. I need to see the witch, who looks like if an alien fucked Bigfoot in the ass and they had a fucking child. It's this fucking ghoul of a bitch. I need to see a bitch as a witch as a bitch. I need to see her. And I need to have loud noises and about 552 fucking jump scares in the fucking movie. I don't know why I thought... now I'm thinking Adam Wingard is a New Yorker, but I want the fucking witch in my fucking movie. I want 552 fucking loud jump scares to get out of your fucking seats. Adam Wingard, suck my fucking dick, you fucking prick. Goddamn waste of money. You know what's funnier? Hardcore Henry costs less money than this new Blair Witch. Hardcore Henry costs like $2 to $3 million. This fucking movie costs $5 million. How the fuck do you make that work? But anyway, all you did was rehash the fucking first film, only, hey, let's make it louder. And louder. And so many people pop up. Or someone's looking at a camera and someone's trying to touch them, so they turn around, the person's there, but you have to have a loud noise. And you gotta see the fuck. And also, another thing about this one, there was mystery behind it. Was it supernatural? Was it not supernatural? Yeah, they walked the same direction and got in the same place. But is it because they're city kids and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing? They got lost? Or was it something supernatural? Was it rednecks? Was it a serial killer? Or was it a supernatural witch? You think in your own fucking head about it. You make up your own fucking mind. Because it had the right amount of, there's some crazy stuff happening, but there's stuff that a person or persons could have done. I mean, you hear a child crying. Was that someone with a tape recorder fucking with them? I mean, when they made the film, yeah, but or was it something else? And that sense of mystery is gone because in this new one, you see the witch, and they literally tell you that time displacement. I was going to say time travel, but it's not really time travel. It's kind of, sort of time displacement. Twilight Zone bullshit. I'm like, thank you for telling me straight to my face. Yeah, no subtlety. Nothing about this film is creepy. The characters suck. I know people say the characters in this film suck. No, the characters in this fucking film suck. I care about Heather, Josh, and Mike. Yeah, Heather cried a lot. But so did the fucking people in this movie, only multiplied by 10. I can relate to the three characters in this movie. I understood why they were filming shit, because it was part of a documentary. And it was subtle, because it built and built and built and built overnight. It was day, then night, then day and night. Here it's like one day, and then the rest of the movie is night. So I'm like, yep, it's definitely supernatural. Yep, that happens, it's definitely supernatural. It's just like, this movie's about as subtle as a fucking jackhammer to your face. It's about as subtle if Ron Jeremy slipped his dick down, put it in your mouth. It's about as subtle as being suffocated by a big-ass pair of butt cheeks. That's how fucking subtle this movie is. About as subtle as a fucking fart in an elevator. That's how fucking subtle this film is. It's about as scary as one, too. In fact, a fart in an elevator would be more scary. Does it be more suspense of whether the scent was going to go to my nostrils or going to go up my ass and try to mix with my own fucking fart? So you get double farts and double shits. Just like this one, you get a double dildo up its fucking fat ass. Yeah, it was Adam Wingard, fuck you. People who made this film, fuck you. You lazy, untalented pieces of shit. This film was lazy, it was a rehash, it was a remake, yeah, it's a sequel. Yeah, just like the fucking Force Awakens is a sequel, but all they did was remake A New Hope. I'm tired of that fucking horse shit that they're doing. If it's a fucking sequel, then why don't you call it Blair Witch 3? Yeah, technically it's a sequel, but we call it Blair Witch because we just say it's a reboot. It's not a remake. Because see, it's a sequel. See, it's a sister. But we rebooted, so we just... Again, it's like if someone saw the first one, didn't like it, because it's too quiet, it's too subtle, you don't see a witch, nothing fucking happens. Well, you get tents flying to the sky, and then you get a person trying to crawl through a tunnel. You get loud and louder and loudest noises, and a tree falls on a guy. I'm like, did Michael Bay produce? Are the tents going to fucking explode into fireballs next? Are fucking trees going to explode into splinters and people in the face? Are the plants going to come alive like that piece of shit movie The Ruins and go into people's eye sockets and ass fuck them? As opposed to what? I don't know, mouth fucking them, dick fucking them, put a little tweezer in your fucking dick hole, which is what I felt while watching this piece of shit. If I get to, to the movie, like the title card, same noises, white titles, and, white titles, black screen, any fucking noises they make is loud as hell. I'm sorry, cheap jump scares don't impress. And then they find this mysterious footage on YouTube.
I'm like, why the fuck did this person put it on YouTube? Why the fuck didn't he take this to the police? I know it's a nitpick, but I'm just saying, if I found some footage and this universe is known of, well, these people disappeared, maybe I should take it to the police. Hey, look at this. Instead of just uploading on fucking YouTube. And then this guy really thinks that his sister Heather Donahue is still out there even after 15 years? Don't you think that's kind of strange? Don't you think that's kind of stupid? I mean, I understand it's your family member, but it's been over 15 years. And a lot of the time, I'm like, why are you filming this? You're trying to find your sister, but yet you're going to film all this shit? And in the original, in this, it made sense. They're a documentary filmmakers, they're students. And Heather Donahue was a student that was a bit pretentious and wanted to maybe go further because of this. And again, being a documentary, you film a lot of shit. Here, they're looking for a guy's sister. You don't need to film them playing fucking video games. What was it, Battleground 2 or whatever the hell it was. You don't need to film that. And they even show footage from the ending of this movie, but they alter it. Where you show the ending to this film, only there's this loud screech. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? That wasn't in this movie. When that camera fell, it wasn't. Where the fuck did that come from? I didn't know that a fucking cat fucked a dog, or a dog fucked a cat. Where the hell did that screeching come from? Sounds like a cat getting raped. And at times the footage like cuts, and when it does that, it has these loud noises. I'm like, is this how digital cameras work? I don't have a digital camera. You tell me. Is that how it works when they cut and you have this weird digital noise? I like the filming in a club. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do? Why are you filming this? You in a club? Yes, there are found footage films I like, but there's always that question of why the fuck are you filming? If I'm into the film, I can kind of disregard as much shit as Above, So Below got. That film has a hell lot more going for it than this. I love As Above, So Below. That's a found footage movie I enjoy. I'm like, wow, it's like Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones, adventure, mixed with horror and found footage. I liked that movie. And it didn't end like a typical found footage movie where everyone dies. People actually lived. In fact, 3 people lived. That alone makes it unique. But that movie got so much shit. Well, so did this, deservedly enough. The original gets a 6.4, while this gets a 5.1, and it deserves a 1.5. It's not that bad. There's nothing good about it. The acting is piss poor. The characters are nothing but jack shit to them. All they do is rehash the fucking first film. This fucking film only. Oh, they have a drone camera. But okay, you have a drone camera. Nothing much happens with it. They use it like 3 or 4 times in the film. One time to test it, 2 times in the woods, and I think it's actually 3 times, because the second time they're using it and it crashes. And then one woman who has a bad foot stupidly climbs up this tall ass tree to grab it, and then she gets fucked up, falls to the ground, and dragged away to her death. Wow, thank God you got a fucking drone camera in there, because you did a lot with it. But the goofing around and filming in the hotel in their beds, like you saw in the original, when they're drinking in the hotel room, they're drinking on beds. Yeah, this I swear, it's almost a same shot as in this one where you have the Burkittsville sign and they're going by it. They meet the guy, the local, who upload the footage onto YouTube, and these 2 locals don't make sense to me. And if I learn how to talk properly, I would say they do not. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. They don't. See, that's another reason I grabbed this, because it's fucking hard. I can't punch my wall, because if you notice over there, you see this thing here? I punched a hole through that, not because of this, but because of a video a long time ago. So I don't want to break any more fucking holes in my fucking walls. I have to fucking fix it. I can't remember which movie I did that for. It wasn't for this movie. I can't remember what the hell it was. I can't go breaking more fucking holes in my walls. This is fucking pointless. How about you take that $5 million and make a good special edition of this with all that missing footage that they shot for it, and a brand new documentary. I know there was one being talked about, Into the Woods or something, but I mean a full-blown with Heather, Mike, Josh, the ups, the downs, the backlash, everything up, down, center, in between. That would be more money well spent by Lionsgate than this fucking bullshit. But it made money. Cost $5 million, made worldwide $45 million. It didn't get my money. If you want to know how I saw this, a friend of mine sent me a DVD-R for free, because he knows I'm a huge fan of this one. And no, I'm not going to break it on camera, because it just... I've done that in the past when people said it's okay, but it just seems rude to me to do. I'm trying to calm down and get more into the actual reviewing instead of just yelling with my fucking... And yes, I am over-exaggerating, but I'm also not over-exaggerating, because I do hate this movie that much. But yeah, after I do this video, I'll be fine with my day. But as long as the camera's on, I want to be as fucking pissed as I want, because it's fucking fun. Just better be pissed on a camera than in real life. And the film is a pile of nothing. After they meet the guy who uploaded the footage, the two locals want to go with them, and they're listening to this shitty Ramstein type music where the music's like, yeah, 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 yeah. And the reason I say these two locals don't make sense to me is they know there's stuff going on in the woods. They know that there's all the legends of the woods. The guy uploaded the footage, right? But then when they get there and they camp, they find these stick figures. They go, yeah, we made the stick figures and we hung them up. And I don't even get why. Why did you do that? And of course the people would be pissed off, and it's like, then you find out they've never been in the woods before. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Then how the fuck did you find the footage? How did you find this footage? If you've never been out in the woods before. What, did the fucking witch upload it to YouTube? That's why I'm like, oh, we haven't been out in the woods. I'm like, but how did you find this footage if you haven't been out in the woods that much? Unless they said something differently and I got discombobulated, maybe I did. Maybe the movie killed my brain cells. In fact, I would guarantee that's what happened. But before that happens, the two locals decide they want to go with the group. You have that shot of someone walking backwards, looking at the vehicle as they're going into the woods. So it's the guy who wants to find his sister, you have the girl, you have the black couple, and then you have the two locals. And even though they're looking for the guy's sister, some of them are goofing off, and like the guy who's supposed to be the lead guy's buddy, he's laughing, and I'm like, I thought you guys were looking for this guy's sister, and what happened? I wouldn't be joking as if I'm going to a fucking Weird Al Yankovic concert. I don't know why I thought Weird Al, but why not? So the black guy seems like he's acting like a fucking dick.
laughing at the locals as they're telling their stories. They walk across the water. They all take off their fucking shoes. I don't know why they took off their shoes. I guess, hey, we don't want your shoes wet. You know what? I don't give a shit if my shoes are wet. You know what I do care about? Stepping on something while I'm walking through the fucking water. And that's what happens to the black lady. Her foot gets cut, and they really pull that along for throughout the flick, which really amounts to nothing. Because throughout the film, her cut keeps bothering her. Her hubby is looking at it. You see like a muscle spasm against her skin. And then there's a point where the last time we see it, she kind of pulls this little thing out of her leg. I don't know if it's like a piece of a branch. And that's the end of it. I thought they were going to go with, oh, like it's building up inside her. In one moment, all these she's gonna become one of those stick things. Like it's gonna just spread out, and she's literally gonna be one of these. Like she's gonna be spread out like this, and just the branches are coming out in practical effects. That's not the case. They just let it go. I'm like, I just had to literally just. It really. I'm trying to think why they went through all this trouble with this whole thing in her foot. At least nowhere other than this quick shot of this little branch thing coming out of her leg, and then that's it. And I'm like, that was it? That was all this material, all this footage about her foot, this thing in her foot? Just have a quick shot of her thigh and this thing coming out of her leg? That's it? That's literally it. That's literally it. There's nothing else. Wait, wow, that's fucking great. That was a waste of fucking time. But anyway, yeah, the fireplace, sausages, hot dogs. They even explain the whole, in this film, when people are in a corner. I've seen this movie many times. The story is that Rustin Parr, he would take one kid, he would tell the other kid to look in the corner while he killed this kid, and he was told to do that by the Blair Witch. No, in this movie, they go, well, why in the corner? Because if you look at her, you die. You look at her, you die. So what, it's the fucking Medusa from Clash of the Titans? Is that what this bitch is? The story is, in the first movie, it's... So you're trying to tell me that Rustin Parr had kids look in a corner while he killed one, so that the bitch doesn't kill them before Rustin Parr kills them while being ordered by the witch? Then why do other people... So what, the witch kills them and then puts them in the corner to not look at her, even though looking at her means you die? How the fuck does that make sense? So, at the end of this movie, or even at the end of this movie, like they find one of their buddies and there's a quick shot of him looking at a corner. Why are they looking at a corner? Like, these people would, like Mike would not have known that. And this guy here, I mean, we could tell he's been killed because we see a tree fucking fall on him and he gets, dragged away. And this is the next time we see him near the end of the film. So, if you turn around and look at the witch, you die. So when the witch kills you, she puts you in the corner to not look at her, even though looking at her makes you dead. someone explain. The only reason they did that was for the very last shot. They're looking in the corner, like, don't look at her. And you have the scene where the woman has the camera and has the thing here, so trying to see behind her. None of that was in the original film. None of that were. I've actually read books about the legend of the Blair Witch. None of that is in it. I forget where the hell I put my other book. It's a black. It's like this, but it's a black cover, and instead of a hardcover, it's a soft cover. I'm the type of guy that saw the Sci-Fi Channel special, the Burkittsville 7. I actually know my shit. Adam Wingard doesn't. He probably saw this film like twice, hated it. Back in 1999, saw it again when he got a chance to direct it and got a payday. It's like, yeah, this movie fucking sucks. Yeah, I gotta go see The Witch. Fucking idiots. And so after that stupid shit of explaining why people look in the corner, which doesn't make any fucking sense, a lot of loud noises. People come into view. There's a jump scare. Loud noise on a walkie-talkie where it's silent. And the walkie-talkie's like, oh shit. Yes, yeah, the walkie-talkie's working. They stay overnight. They wake up, stick figures in the trees. The two locals are fucking idiots because they lied and they made the twigs. And I'm like, why? Why would you take all this trouble to go with them and then go out into the woods and then make twigs and then do a shitty job hiding the rope? And then, of course, they call you out on it and they want you to get the fuck out of there. And they're like, oh yeah, we don't have GPS and we don't. Why did you even do this in the first place, you two fucking idiots? Why? Why? It's stupid. So they walk all day, they get in a circle, they have the same campsite, the drone gets fucked up, the black guy's walking, you see his point of view, a fucking tree falls. See, in the original, when you would hear like crunching, it was subtle. It was realistic. Here, you hear like, it sounds like 50 fucking trees falling. That's why I'm like, it's fucking Michael Bay out there filming a movie. A fucking tree falls on the guy, and then he's like, hear loud, loud, louder, loudest noises, and then he's gone. And that's where you get the lead guy's, I guess, kind of girlfriend looking at one camera, and then the black woman grabs her. It's like, it's a loud noise, and all the girl was asked is like, "Oh, where's the guy I'm with? Where's he at?" I forget the actor's name. I forget the character's name. I don't remember the fucking names. I just saw the movie. And then 10 seconds later after that, there's another cheap jump scare. Cheap jump scare of the movie is the alternate title for this fucking flick. And then those two locals come back out and they're dirtier and they say they've been out there 5 days, even though these other people have been out there for an afternoon. And that's what I'm talking about, how the time gets fucked with by the witch. Which you got that idea in this movie subtly when, they keep walking for days through the woods, but they don't find anything and they get into a circle, and you could figure that out on your own if that's the direction you want to go with. But they take that away. It's like, hey, dumb fuck, if you don't get this, think, McFly, think. Hello? Now make like a tree and get out of here. It's called make like a tree and leave. You sound like an idiot when you get it wrong. Then fine, leave then. And take your almanac with you. The only scares in this movie is things are quiet, then a loud noise happens. Things are quiet, then a loud noise happens again. It's cheap jack horse shit. To me, this is actually creepy because it's subtle. It's like if you hiked in the woods and you found a diary and you're reading the diary and you realize it's the last moments of a person's life. See, that's why, and no matter how many found footage films they make, this is my favorite because it feels the most real. It feels the most real to me. That simplicity, for me, is what makes it creepy. Loud noises is not like, I could go behind you and go, fuck you. You'd be like, but that doesn't mean I am impressing you. Unless it's a woman, then immediately, you said fuck me, and then sits on my face, then I'll be impressed. But other than that, it's not impressive. And the local guy leaves and the local girl stays. Then they wake up and it's still dark out and there's rocks and there's sticks in the air. Just like in the original, there was rocks around and sticks in the air. So one of the little new things they do, there's a twig with the local woman's hair in it. And the black woman grabs it and does this, and then the woman snaps in half. Which is kind of an interesting idea, but it's filmed so shaky that I'm like, wait, what happened? Oh, okay, that's what happened. And then this loud noise, this huge noise, and it's like, are you scared yet? Ah! No, let's go louder. Ah! And then tents fly into the sky, and this tent flies into the sky, and I'm waiting for another tent to blow up in a fucking fireball. I'm like, did Platinum Dunes produce this? No? Shit. If you told me this was a Platinum Dunes produced film, I would not be surprised. I'm like, the guys who did the Hitcher remake, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. I'd be like, yeah, I should have known. So they just separated the black woman. That's with the bad foot. That's the one where she finds that little thing in her thigh. I'm like, this is gonna be like The Ruins, that piece of shit movie, The Ruins. And that's all that comes about her bad foot. They spend all this time on her bad foot, and that's all it comes is just this little thing comes out. It's not that impressive. There's nothing to that. Was that supposed to be shocking? Oh my gosh, she pulled something out of her thigh. As if we've never fucking seen that before. In another fucking movie. We spent all this fucking time for nothing. And then she stupidly walks up this tall ass tree, even though she has a bad foot, to get this drone. And then a fucking arm comes out. The witch's arm grabs her. She falls to the ground, gets dragged away. In the credits, there's even a fucking credit for stunt, like, Blair Witch arm. I shit you not. This person was the Blair Witch arm. And so you get to the finale, which, like the original, it ends at a fucking house. Although nothing in the original mentioned that the fucking tunnels and shit. Where do I go with this? The guy thinks that his sister is in this house. He goes in. The girl waits outside. She's looking in the trees. She sees a fucking ghoul, like the witch. Again, it's like if an alien fucked Bigfoot and had a baby. You see her in the trees, and I'm like, again, that's why I maintain Adam Wingard hated this movie. And it was like, nothing happens. So let's have really loud noises, cheap jump scares, tents flying in the sky, and more loud noises, and fucking a drone camera that does nothing. Well, we don't see the witch. Which I'm like, it would be stupid if you saw the witch in this. What? Someone going, it would look stupid. And guess what? It looks stupid in this movie. It's like someone I see in Grave Encounters. Literally, it is. It just someone in the trees. And so the girl screams and runs to the house. The local guy, because the whole time thing is fucked up, he's aged, he's got a beard, puts her in the under, so now she has to crawl through these tunnels, which wasn't much. People are like, oh wow, that's so intense. She's going through a tunnel and squeezing through. Nothing happens in it. It's not like something's coming after her or there's stuff rumbling around. It's literally just her squeezing through a tight tunnel. Not much to it. While the guy is up in the near the attic area. And before he got there, he saw his buddy, the black guy, standing in a corner. You do get another few shots of the Blair Witch. Might as well be a fucking alien. Or a fucking... some type of ghoul. The girl gets out of the tunnel. The local guy grabs her. She stabs the local guy in the neck. Her and the guy meet up with each other, and you find out that that footage at the beginning of the film was not Heather Donahue. It was her. It's the whole time paradox thing where, because the witch can control time, so I guess what she fucking Doctor Who. She, even though that happens later, she put. I'm like, so did the local guy find this and then upload on YouTube? Even though I thought he had said he'd never even been out into the woods. How did he find the tape? And or did the witch itself upload onto YouTube? I don't fucking know. And then there's this white light, which I don't know what the white light was all about. Then they look in the corner. Don't look at it. Then this guy thinks he hears something, looks, he dies. She's had this camera to see behind her, which you see more of the witch, which looks like shit. Then she dies, and the camera falls to the ground, just like the original. Movie ends with that same sound at the end of the film. Credits like this one. And, you know, people are going to be like, well, what did you want in a sequel, Matt? What did I want in a sequel to Blair Witch? They say when you have a story, you gotta hook them in the first scene. That's not always true, but it can help. So here's what you do. It doesn't have to be found footage. Butcher Shouts Blair Witch 2 did not suck because it wasn't found footage. It was because, for me, I didn't care for the characters, I didn't care for the story. Here's what you do if you want to do a sequel to Blair Witch. You have a person out in the middle of the road. Trees, right? Just trees all around. This person's walking right in the middle of the road. And as they're walking, a car comes up. It's a family. It's a guy, his wife, maybe some kids. They stop. Wife calls on her cell phone for help. Guy walks up to this person. This person is dirty, bloody, broken fingernails, messed up, shaking, saying something. And the guy's like, are you okay? Well, you know, what are you saying? And you hear it louder and louder. And all of a sudden you hear, Mike. Grabs the guy by the shoulder. Mike! And you see a camera right here on the person's face, and it's Heather Donahue. Fade to black, slow fade in. Blair Witch. You could have Blair Witch 3, you could have Blair Witch Project, some subtitle.
And then right there, I'm like, oh, where was she? Why is she here? Where has she been? How is she alive? See, I have questions that makes me now want to see your movie and what will happen next. And not make the same fucking film. You have to be in the woods. That's part of it. But it can also be its own film, its own story. It's a continuation of the story, but there's still that mystery that you don't. Hey, what happened? Ultimately, honestly, you didn't need a sequel. I think that's the thing. You did not need a sequel. You didn't need a sequel. I know I said it like 5 times now, but it's a story that could have been told by itself. It didn't need a continuation. This isn't even a continuation. It's, oh, we don't find my sister. That's the continuation. The rest of it's just a rehash of this one. But if you're going to do a sequel, then yes, I would prefer a continuation of the story. I think that setup, if you show that just as your trailer, if you show that, I'd be like, what the hell's happening now? Huh. Because you would think if you're making a sequel, the people who want to see that are people who actually like the original. Because there's not many times that you hate the original and you're like, man, I want to see the sequel. Unless it's people who specifically do it because they review on YouTube or they review for money or they review for their jobs. Because there's not many times where you're like, I hate the first one, but I like the sequel. That's rare. Like for me, I hated The Purge, but The Purge 2, Anarchy, I liked. But for the most part, if I liked a sequel, I liked the original. I love Aliens, I love Alien. Love Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, I love Evil Dead 1. I love a lot of the Elm Street sequels, I love the first one. I love some of the Halloween sequels, I love the first one. Lethal Weapon, my favorite's the first one. Die Hard, love the... Well, not Die Hard 5, but a lot of the sequels I love. But my favorite is the first one. Love Predator 2, but I love Predator 1. The list goes on. So for the most part, if you're making a sequel, then more than likely people want to watch it. They like the first one. You would think. Which again, I don't know why you would make a sequel in the first place, because most people nowadays hate this movie. So why the fuck would you do it? That doesn't make sense to me. Not at all. This movie's not scary. It's not creepy. It's not entertaining. It's not funny. It's annoying. People were annoyed by Heather Donahue in the first one. No, this is annoying. Cheap jump scares every 15 seconds is annoying. Doing the first film again, which is what I said a year ago, Blair Witch 3 a rant, and then some people call me crazy. Some people call me nuts. Some people call me, oh, blah, blah, blah. People would get pissed at me. I fucking called it hook, line, and sinker. I said, this is just going to be a fucking remake of the first one. It's just going to be a fucking reboot. And that's what it was. It was a shitty one. The critics trashed over it. It's a 5.1 IMDb. It was pretty low for a newer film. Again, to me, it deserves even lower. I guarantee I'm not the only fucking person who thought this was a piece of shit. If you hated the first one, okay, I disagree. I don't see how someone can say this is better. Because it doesn't have the mystery, it doesn't have the subtlety, it doesn't have the creepiness. To me, this is a character piece about 3 characters and how these normal people and their friendship and their ability to communicate with each other disintegrate because of the elements. And you could put a supernatural angle to it, or you could put a natural angle to it. It's your choice. This film, you're too fucking stupid to do that. You don't have any brain cells. We're gonna do it for you, bro. Come on, bro, Steve. We're gonna do it for you, bro. We're gonna do that for you, bro.
We're gonna make sure we got some big loud noises for you, bro. Yeah, broski. We gotta make sure we gotta see the witch, bro. Yeah, see that bitch witch? That witch is a bitch. And you get to see her more than once, bro. And even her fucking arm, bro. And then, yeah. Yeah. Fuck you, Adam Wingard. Yeah, you're not winning. You're fucking losing. Your films don't impress me much. You haven't seen You're Next. Well, you know what? I saw the rest of his shit. His 7 VHS, which was horrible. His 7 VHS 2 was the one bad thing in that movie, in my opinion. Because the rest of the VHS 2 was good. Except his shit. The Guest, Dan Stevens was great. The rest of it, eh, overrated. Yeah, it's better than this movie, but that's not saying much. If I put my thumb up my ass, it's better than this movie. It'd be more suspense, it'd be creepier, it'd be funnier, it'd be more intense, and it'd be more suspenseful. Is my thumb going to go left, right, or in the sweet spot? So yeah, I don't know if I'll do another review for this. If I do, maybe not right away. Maybe I just there's other stuff I want to get to. My friend Mike OCP sent me a few stuff to watch. I'm on others, but I had to get this out of it. It kills me, man. It fucking kills me. Fucking kills me. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking through my this diary that I wrote in. I actually did write in it and drew and shit. This whole thing here. So yeah, I had a fucking diary. So yeah, I'm a big fan of it. This film, I'm like, it's such laziness. We're gonna do a sequel, but it's just gonna be a fucking rehash of the original film. That's all it's gonna be. A fucking rehash of that. That's it. No effort, no scares, cheap jump scares, annoying characters, no one to like. Found footage film that ends like 99% of found footage movies. Again, that's one of the things that a film like As Above, So Below impresses me with. Not this. This was pointless. Utterly fucking pointless film to make. And that's the end of it. Talk to you later.